Hey everybody, so I've got something a bit different here today. So it's winter here in Calgary, so we're thinking a lot about winter cycling. Often what I'm sharing is stuff from my experience here in Calgary, but there's lots of things happening in other cities. So what I decided to do was ask some people, some friends I know in other winter bike cities to show me some of the things that are going on in their city. Some of the coolest things they like about their city, some of the things that are not so good, and I thought I would share them all with you today. First up is Winnipeg. For those who don't know, Winnipeg is a mid-sized prairie city right in the geographic center of North America. And so I asked Jamie Hilland, who is a active transportation specialist in that city, to share his thoughts. And here's what he's got to say.
Hi Tom, it's Jamie in Winnipeg. So what I like about cycling in winter, I actually like that there's a little less people and it's crisp and I get to bundle up. And it's predictable. In Winnipeg in winter, I'm just off of Main Street in Winnipeg here. It takes me about 25 minutes to get home. On my bike, it's about 12 to 15, so it's predictable times. In terms of cycling facilities, this is one of the better ones, and I'll keep my own horn here. This is one that we designed with snow storage incorporated into it. It's even got a little public artwork that was done and buffered collar protection and room for snow storage, which I think I already said. The video that I'll send you as well shows a variety of facilities that Winnipeg has, and so we're getting better, we are doing improvements, and we're recognizing the need for year-round winter maintenance, and that's a big point of discussion every time we have a snowfall. So the conditions right now, you're looking about a week after we had a pretty major snowfall, and it's about minus 23 out, I think, right now. So city is recognizing it. They are doing their best. You can see this is pretty good conditions for our city. Actually very good conditions, I should say. So it's getting better.
Okay, what I took from that video is the importance of those first steps. Winnipeg is early in this process, like a lot of North American cities, so it does not have a huge amount of bike infrastructure, but getting going is really important. Those first lanes really show people how they work, show the potential of them. They can be really tough to get installed. There's lots of political pushback sometimes. You need the political will, you need some advocacy, you need some money to get it done. I think what you see in a lot of cities is once that first one goes in, it shows people that they can work, that they're not the end of the world for car drivers, and that you can start building a network out. So thanks, Jamie. That's what I took from that Winnipeg video, is the importance of first steps. Okay, next up we're going to Montreal, one of my favorite cities. Also a great bike city, probably the best bike city in North America. It's only recently started getting into winter cycling. In the old days, they used to take out some of the bollards and turn the lanes over to cars, but they're really getting serious about it now. So I asked my friend Bartek, who works for Vélo Quebec, super knowledgeable, and I asked him to show me some of the things that he loves and some of the things that are a bit challenging in his city of Montreal. Here we go.
So it's midnight on a Sunday night here in Montreal on a very snowy Sunday. And as you can see behind me, I'm standing in a cycle track right now, and it's already been cleared. So it's ready for the Monday morning commute. That's actually quite nice. It's especially nice because this happens to be right in front of my house, and I'm going to commute on this very cycle track in a few hours. That is after I extract my bicycle here from the snowbank. There's about, I think, 40 or 50 kilometers of these that are plowed with a fairly high level of priority. So just a quick follow-up. It's 36 hours now after the previous video I took along this cycle track right after the snowstorm, and the city went through last night and did a snow removal operation. So they prioritize this side of the street. They do it one side one day, and then the next day they do the next side. So this side is prioritized because of the cycle track, and as you can see behind me, no more big snow pile. The full width of the cycle track is available. So I'm actually just a bit further down the cycle track. I'm now in a different borough. So snow removal is done borough by borough, so each decides how to do it. Here, as you can see, there's still a big snow bank, big windrow formed by the snow plows, but the cycle track is quite usable. It's a bit narrow. And you see behind me that orange no parking sign snapped onto the other confusing no parking signs. Welcome to Montreal. Well, it says no parking 7 to 19. And that's because today, during the day, they're going to come through with a snowblower and pick up the snow. So on my way back from work, this cycle track will have a full usable width that big windrow is going to be gone.
Okay, Bartek also shared this video from a different spot in Montreal.
So I'm standing on Laurier Avenue East. This street actually has a one-way street with two bike lanes, a bike lane in the same direction as traffic and a contraflow bike lane. Of course, right now you'd have no idea that there's a bike lane. So the problem with this kind of infrastructure in the winter, which I think is well illustrated right now, is that one, when there's snow like today, it masks the pavement markings, and also when the snowplow comes through and pushes the snow from the middle of the road, it pushes it towards the parked cars. So it could, in theory, clear part of the bike lane. However, as soon as any car leaves a parking space, it's just going to push that snow right back into the bike lane.
Okay, I think what I take from Bartek's videos is the importance of snow removal in winter cycling. So you can see how important good snow removal is and how difficult it is when the snow is not removed. Winter is a bit different in all kinds of cities. Some have more snow, some have less snow, some have ice, some have cold. It doesn't really matter, but what matters is the importance of keeping bike lanes free of snow, free of ice, making them safe. If you keep it safe and if you keep it free of snow, people will use it. So that's great. Thank you, Bartek. Okay, next up is Tony from Minneapolis. He submitted this short little video about the favorite part of his commute in Minneapolis. Okay, did you catch that? So yeah, that was his dog in the front of his cargo bike in his back feet. So he puts his dog in the front. He had a cover for it in winter. The dog looks super cozy there, right? Right. So there's actually a lesson here, I think, too, and that is the importance of designing cycling infrastructure in cities for everybody. Often we think that winter biking is only for young masochistic men because they like that kind of thing, but what we see in lots of places is if it's safe and it's designed well and it's cleared of snow, everybody will use it. Seniors, kids, men, women, everybody, even dogs in some cases. When you think about winter cycling, maybe change your mental image of like a bunch of dudes going fat biking to the image of Tony's dog looking comfortable and cozy inside that cargo bike. Okay, now we're moving across the pond to Europe. We're going to the Netherlands. It has so much to teach us about urban cycling. And here is Angela telling us all about her favorite part of her commute.
Hi, I am Angela and I live in Tilburg in the Netherlands. I like riding my bike in winter, but not really on days like today when there is a lot of rain. Here I'm in a dry spot because I'm in a bicycle and pedestrian tunnel, and this is a place that I like, especially in winter and during the nights. The features are lights in the wall of the tunnel, and they change colors during the day. And it is like a beacon on my route home from work. Another feature I like is the guarded bicycle parking facilities. They are dry and safe spots. I can take out my rain clothes there and make myself comfortable before I go to my destination.
Okay, what I take from that video is sort of the Dutch, I don't know what to call it, but I think the right word is the Dutch respect for cycling. I mean, that underpass that you saw and the underground parking facility she described are like, for us, they seem over the top. But I think it just shows that the Dutch respect cycling. I think that when you create things that are beautiful and easy to use and convenient and functional, people will use them. You know, we get beyond this North American idea where I call it sometimes throw them a bone infrastructure, where it's like cities say, here's one bike lane, go away cyclists, we're done with you now. You should be happy with what you have. If we can get to the place where cycling is encouraged, we show respect by creating great, beautiful infrastructure, I think more and more people will use it. So there you go. Thank you very much, Angela. Okay, last stop. Maybe the world's ultimate winter cycling city, Oulu, Finland. This is a city in the far north of Finland. When I first went there 7 or 8 years ago, it really opened my eyes to the potential of winter cycling. And check out what my friend Pekka's got to say about that.
Hello everybody, what's up? I'm Pekka from Oulu, Finland, and I'm standing here on this one of the bicycle highway, which is one of the oldest ones, built in the late 60s or early 70s. It's about -20 now, and there's at least some people riding here, it seems. And I like this stretch especially because it has a 5-kilometer section right from the city center towards Mikkula district, where it doesn't have any level crossings with car traffic. so you can ride problem-free, you don't have to stop once. And it's going through beautiful districts, beautiful city park areas, and it's following this small creek here. And it goes even under the 6-lane highway behind me over there. Also, have a look at the surface. So this is hard packed snow. We just let it accumulate a bit there, like a couple of millimeters every time it's being mechanically plowed. And it's a really good surface to cycle on. You don't need anything fancy, just regular, even summer tires will do. So, how do you like it?
Okay, amazing, right? Did you see all those cyclists going behind Pekka as he was talking? He actually told me about an elementary school in the city that has 1,200 students and 1,000 of them ride their bikes even in the dead of winter at like minus 20 degrees. Pretty amazing. So I think Oulu is an example of what happens when everything comes together. You know, a history of building bike infrastructure, great snow clearance. You saw how they packed the snow down. Snow clearance that fits the conditions specific to that city, not some preordained idea, but they actually think about it. And I think it's just the thoughtfulness of everything coming together in Oulu. It's, you know, the bike routes are efficient, they're direct, they're often faster than driving your car. Cycling is just made easy. That's why people choose it. They don't do it for any other reason other than the fact that it's convenient and easy. And I think it really shows the potential of it. There's nothing special. You just have to get to work, building good bike infrastructure, making sure it's maintained properly. And I really think people will use it. We're seeing more and more of that in cities all over the world. In North America, it's happening in my city of Calgary, in Edmonton, in Canada, lots of American cities, it's happening. Anyway, these are good lessons from other cities, so it's worth taking a look to other places. And I hope that was helpful. Hope that gave you a bit of inspiration in your city. And I know it did for me, so I'm excited to get out there and do some more riding. Thanks for watching. See you next time.